There are currently 6 different What? Hello?
Plop, there's actually 7.
What do you mean there's 7? The last killer they added was Guess 666. No, get him off me, get him off me! Ah! There are currently 7 killers you can play as in Forsaken. Which gets me wondering, what killers do people like to play the most? Do they prefer more simplistic gameplay with Cool Kid? Or would they rather use a more intricate killer like Guess 666 and all their mechanics? This is a question I had to have answered, which is why I joined over 150 servers and counted 1,000 players. And out of every single person I saw, only 61 of them were using Nosferatu. Nosferatu? Nosferatu? Nosferatu. No. Man, I don't know. Anyways, 61 players equals 1 in every 16 killers. So on average, you'll see 1 Nosferatu for every 2 servers that you join. I mean, if you just watched the intro, you already know he's the least popular. And that could possibly be due to the fact that they just kind of randomly dropped him. There was no hype for this killer.
Who are you?
I personally actually like playing Nosferatu. I think he's got a really intricate and cool moveset. Even though you could argue he is just kind of a basic killer. But I'm probably not going to play him for a while because I just got him to level 100. And I think that's what most people are doing with him anyways. Get him to level 100 and then drop him completely and play their favorite killer. But it seems that not many people's favorite killer is Guess 666, who had 86 players out of the 1,000, which is 1 in 11 players using them. So it's not going to be the most common thing to see a 6er. And I understand why. Don't get me wrong, I really like 6er and it's probably one of my favorite killers in the game. But they have to be played much differently from all the other killers. And it's a lot harder to win if you don't know exactly what you're doing when you're doing it. The devs have described 6er as a so-called snowball killer. And for those of you who don't know what that term means, basically when a snowball rolls into more snow, it gets bigger and bigger. So as you get kills with 6er, you gain the potential to become more powerful. And when you're more powerful, you get more kills. But I think generally speaking, people just don't like the way 6er is played, and I can see why. I have plenty rounds where I'm just super frustrated because I feel like I can't get anywhere with her moveset. So while I think you can have a lot of fun with 6er, more often than not, you end a round being confused and annoyed. Now, these 2 killers really just aren't that fun to play. And I think it sort of reflects the complexity and viability of them as a killer. And that's not to say these killers are bad, they're definitely usable, but there's much simpler options. Which leaves us with the 5 core killers of the game. They were the first 5 to be added, so they're kind of the face of the game. Which brings us to 1x, 1x, 1x1. 1x had 155 players out of the 1,000. As you can tell, this is a really big jump from 6er's 86. With an average of 1 in 6 people playing him, it's already so much better. There's probably always gonna be at least one 1x in your server. There's really not too much to say about 1x, because clearly they're still pretty commonly played, just a little bit less played than some because I think they have a bit of the issue of the prior killers. 1x kind of has a different playstyle, mainly relying on projectiles, which obviously isn't for everyone, which lands him in the number 5 most popular. And someone else who has a playstyle that isn't for everyone is John Doe, with 160 players out of the 1,000, which is actually only 5 more than 1x had. It really could have gone either way. On average, you'll also see John Doe as 1 out of 6 killers. John Doe truly is the definition of a polarizing killer. I'll see a lot of people saying he's the worst in the game, and then others absolutely glazing him. I'd say I lean more towards glazing him because I think he just has a really good complementary moveset. I think when played right, John Doe can be one of the best killers in the game. But if you get too excited and spam corrupt energy, you're never gonna catch anyone. We have now already arrived to the top 3 most popular killers. I know, this video's kind of moving fast. Make sure to guess out of these 3 who you think the most popular killer is. No cheating. And while you're at it, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. And while you're down there,
delete the 6-7 comment you left at the start of the video.
anyways, in third place for most popular killer is Slasher with 180 players out of the 1,000, which is 1 in every 5.5 killers. What do you guys think a 0.5 of a killer looks like? Do you think it's like this? Or like this? Or like this? But in all seriousness, this number actually surprises me. It surprises me because I actually counted all these killers like a few months ago, back when I made the Who is the most popular survivor video. And Slasher won, but then Sixer and Nos came out, so I had to recount it. And it seems like Slasher fell off. Now, don't get me wrong, third place is still great. I mean, Slasher has a super simple moveset, and he's the killer you start with, so of course people are gonna be drawn to use him. But he's not the most simple. You see, the most simple killer, in my opinion, would have to be Cool Kid, who's actually our number 2 most popular killer. Are you guys liking these seamless transition, these little connections I'm making? It's pretty cool, huh? Really helps the video flow, you know? I'm not ruining it, right? I ruined it? Yeah, okay, just unsubscribe. Anyways, yeah, Cool Kid is our number 2 most popular killer with 187 out of the 1,000 killers. That is 1 in every 5.3 killers. Don't even get me started on what a third of a killer looks like. Ugh. Now, Cool Kid actually only had like 7 more than Slasher did, and it could have probably gone either way. But yeah, overall, this placement makes sense because I wouldn't say Cool Kid is the best killer by any means, but I'd say he's the easiest to play, and he's definitely not bad. The best killer, of course, would be Noli, who is our number 1 most popular killer, with 217 people playing him, which is 1 in every 4.6 killers playing him. This makes sense because Noli's just kinda been the reigning champ of killers in the game. He had what I would argue is the most hype for a killer ever. He's got some actually quite simple mechanics despite being disguised as some of the most difficult to comprehend, and his moveset is super versatile. So, now that we've gone through each killer, what did we learn from this? The main thing that stands out to me is that there's actually a lot more variety in the killers people use than there are in the survivors they use. If you haven't seen my most popular survivors video, there's gonna be some spoilers for it, but if you don't care, keep watching. Essentially, the main takeaway from that video was the fact Guest takes up an entire third of every survivor used. And what that speaks to me is that the killers seem a lot better balanced than the survivors are. Now, I may be wrong, but Guest has always felt very unbalanced. Like, why is a team of 8 Guests completely viable? That is so dumb. While on the other hand, I feel like every single killer is good and none of them are too overpowered compared to another. Like, you'll see Nolis that lose the game, and you'll see Nosferatus that win easily. So I guess the main lesson is the fact the devs are actually doing a pretty decent job balancing the killers. Even if it doesn't really feel like it. Anyways, thanks for watching, and go watch the most popular survivors video if you haven't. Anyways, psych, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout! Ah!